Good morning. This morning we are going to start our discussions on other important aspects of your thesis. We are going to talk about the common frameworks that have been used in various theses and dissertations at the UP Open University. First, let us talk about the theoretical and the conceptual frameworks, as they are very closely related in practical terms. Let's take the stimulus-response theory as an example. The theoretical statement says, for every stimulus, there is a corresponding response. We can translate this into a conceptual framework where the video serves as the stimulus and the response is gain in knowledge. The conceptual framework presents the specific relationship of concepts that are to be studied. They are more concrete than the terms used in the theoretical framework. In this conceptual framework, we are also indicating that two things are considered intervening variables and may influence the direct relationship between the video and gain in knowledge. So you have to look at that. The theoretical framework, if we put that into diagrammatic form, you have a stimulus, then this results to a response. But in a conceptual framework, the stimulus becomes the information via video, and the response takes the form of gain in knowledge. Now, we have included there two other variables, the demographic information as well as the mode of presentation. These are what we call intervening variables. They intervene, but because they are not part of our study, we are not analyzing their impact on the relationship. Now let's have a look at the third framework, the research framework. In many instances, what's commonly discussed between the advisor and the thesis student would be the theoretical and conceptual frameworks. This third framework, which we call the research framework, is rarely included in the discussion in the thesis. The research framework is the overall structure and flow of your research undertaking. It is not usually written and made part of the thesis proposal or manuscript. It is found in the manner in which you organize and write your thesis. Note that the variables you studied are reflected in the title to the set of recommendations. So there is a one-on-one relationship. We have taken that up in previous discussions. We have talked about the frameworks of your thesis. Your thesis advisor will always ask you about your thesis framework. So always be ready with your theoretical and conceptual frameworks. You need not explain your research framework, just show it in your manuscript. Okay? So briefly, those are what we would want to for you to consider today. This is a very, very brief presentation, but you see, the concept of the theoretical, conceptual, and the research framework is very, very important. A fourth framework, by the way, is called operational framework. We are not going to discuss that right now because it is rarely used or discussed anyway. The most common things that we consider in the preparation of thesis proposals and dissertation proposals are the theoretical, conceptual frameworks as well as the research framework. So join us again next week in our discussion of writing the conclusion and recommendations of your thesis. I know many are interested in this one. Everybody seems to want to right away write their conclusions and recommendations. We're going to discuss those two things next week. Until then, good day to all. Thank you very much.